theorem, sampling, how the sampling is done. Now, in this semester, we will discuss in mathematical form. So, how we can achieve the sampling and how we can recover the original signal from the sample signal. Okay. So this is the this will be the class of today. So first we will learn sampling of two signals. So mainly one is the low pass signal and the other is the band pass signal. So how we can do the same sampling. Then from after sampling we have the sampled version of the signal. So how we can recover the original signal from the sampled version. So that we will see. Okay. Now it's so all of you getting my screen? It's visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's great. So the topic of today class is basically I'm using the whiteboard, and actually I don't know how is my writing here in this this whiteboard. So the topic of today's is the sampling. What is actually sampling? So first we will discuss this and revise the things which we already done in the last semester. So the sampling here, we will see for the two signal, two kind of message signal, or two kind of actually not message signal, but the sampling for low pass signal and band pass signal. So we can say this is low pass filter, low pass, or the sampling through the low pass filter or low pass signals. Generally we say low pass signal or low pass filter. Okay, and another is sampling of band pass signal. This is the main topic, first topic. Then we will see the sampling theorem. And in sampling theorem, we will see Nyquist rate or Nyquist your frequency, Nyquist rate or Nyquist. So we will see this. And third is we will use the Nyquist rate or Nyquist frequency to see the aliasing phenomena, aliasing effect. And the fourth one is we use the reconstruction formula. Sometimes we say it's interpolation. Formula. Okay, so these are the topics today we will cover. The first is sampling, then sampling theorem, aliasing effect, reconstruction formula. So the reconstruction formula is generally used to reconstruct the original signal from the sample version of the signal. We'll discuss one by one. Okay. Anybody actually, if anybody feel any query, any doubt, so he just can ask any time question and clear the doubts. Okay. So first we will see the sampling. So all of you know the for the sampling. So for sampling we need, one is the message signal. This is the message signal. We say this is your MP. Okay. Now this is this message signal, and in the message signal in time domain we can represent this like this. So this is your empty, and this is with respect to time domain. Okay. And another signal which is we say the impulse train or the carrier. So this is like the impulse train, and this impulse train we can say this is your ST. Okay, and this is your 0, and this is your T, and this is your 2T. So this is again the time axis. So what will we do for the sampling? So for the sampling we just do the multiplication of these two. So this is the multiplier, and the message signal is here. So this signal is here, and this is your the ST signal or impulse train. Here you will get M delta T. So this is your sample signal. So this is actually this is in time domain. In time domain we just do the simple multiplication, or we just write this is MT, or this is your ST. But when we talk about the frequency domain, so in frequency domain, what will we do? We take the independently Fourier transform of the message signal, and then Fourier transform of the impulse signal, and then we do the multiplication. So in Fourier transform, so when we do the multiplication, we use the convolution. So the multiplication will change the convolution of two signals. So that will give you the sample signal, and the sample signal is people are still joining. Okay. So so first what we do, we assume we take the signal which is empty. So okay. So first we will take the signal, this is empty, and this is T. So we will take the Fourier transform of this signal, and this empty signal is band limited signal. So this is, we say this is band limited signal. And all of you know the band limited signal means it has some frequency, and the frequency of this signal is FM is the frequency. So when we take the Fourier transform of this signal is either you do saw this like this. So this is the FM and this is the FM and this is 0, and we just write this is your FM. Over here at this point, this is M0. So this is the Fourier transform of the signal. So or we say this is your band limited. You can see the band is limited to the of this signal is minus F or F, or in fact because this is low pass signal, so this is the band, or this is you call this is your bandwidth. This is the bandwidth of this signal. This is F. Sometimes we say this is W and this is capital W. So in some books the author use minus W or plus W. But this W is nothing but this is the highest frequency, or this is the frequency of the low pass signal. Okay. So using these I just take the help of the last semester notes to explain the process. So as I already mentioned, it's a simple multiplication of two signals. One is the message signal, other is the carrier signal. And message signal is your continuous signal MT, and the carrier signal is your impulse signal, impulse train. So I'm using the same notes to explain this. So I'm just skipping this portion. So all of you familiar with this, the pulse modulation. The pulse modulation is, all of you know, by varying some parameters of amplitude, duration, position of a pulse train with respect to the message signal. So all of you know this. So the pulse modulation again is divided into two forms. One is the analog modulation, analog pulse modulation, and digital pulse modulation. So in both the analog and digital modulation, we use the periodic pulse train or impulse train as a carrier. So again, these are the advantages. I'm just skipping this. There is no need for this discuss. I'm just coming to the here. So this is the interesting thing here, the sampling process. So the sampling process, as I already mentioned, we use the continuous analog signal, and we change the continuous analog signal to the sampled signal or discrete analog signal. So what will we do? So there is simply continuous analog signal is empty, and we do we just replace this T with NTS, and is the integer starting from minus infinity to plus infinity. So that will give you the discrete analog signal. So here TS is the sampling period, and if you take TS1, this will give you the unit sampling period. This is for simply actually for the understanding purpose. So if you see, this is the original empty signal, and these are the sample signal. The red one is the sample signal, and these samples are TS, 2S, 4TS. All of you getting my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
प्लीज इंटरप्ट जहां पे भी आपको लगे कि इफ यू फील कि कहीं पे समझ नहीं आ रहा है तो बता देना, क्योंकि मुझे कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि आप लोगों की समझ में क्या आ रहा है। दूसरी साइड सामने बैठे होते तो पूछ लेते हैं, बट आई डोंट नो नाउ। सो इट्स अ सिंपल जस्ट रिपीटिशन ऑफ द लास्ट, देन आई विल डू द इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक विच इज रिकंस्ट्रक्शन फॉर्मूला, इंटरपोलेशन फॉर्मूला to reconstruct the original signal. So we will do through the actually this pen tab and using my notes. So now come to here. It's very simple. So this is empty signal, and this again you can see the red one is the sample signals, and these are spaced spacing with TS, 2 TS, and the TS is the sampling period. So each sample is repeating after TS. So this is the simple way of looking of how we can change the continuous analog signal to the discrete or sample signal. So we just represent this discrete signal M delta T. Again, the same thing I already discussed. This is MT, the message signal or modulating signal. So if you take the Fourier transform, so that will give you the band limited signal, and band is limited to the minus FM, the frequency of the signal. And because this band limited signal is 4-1 frequency, so this is only the 4-1 frequency minus FM to the plus FM. So some books write here minus W to plus W. So that will discuss. I will discuss in the next. Okay. Okay. Now we will see the sampling. How the sampling is. So in generally, for theoretical analysis or for instantaneous sampling, so we use the impulse train. But in practical, we use the periodic pulse train. And the periodic pulse train has some width, the pulse has some width, and the duration of the pulse is Ts. So the pulse is repeat after Ts time. While in case of ideally or in case of theoretically, so we use this just to understand the sampling process, we use the impulse train. So this figure is showing the impulse train, and this is the periodic pulse train. And we can define the sampling frequency and sampling rate. So Fs is the message signal or the signal frequency is, or the time at which the signal or the pulse or the impulse repeat comes. So that is your Ts, and this is your Fs, the sampling frequency and sampling rate. So how we can obtain this actually sample signal? So this is again the same figure which I already drawn on the. So this is your message signal MT, and this is your analog, and this is your multiplier and the impulse train. So when these two signal multiplied, so that will give you M delta T. So M delta T is nothing but it is a sample value, and this red one is showing the sample value, and this is dot is simply used to plot this sample value amplitude. So you can see, so whatever the signal variation, signal amplitude variation of the message signal, the same variation in the carrier you will obtain after doing the sampling. So this is the simplest way to understand the sampling, and this sampling is actually in the time domain. So we will discuss in the frequency domain also. यहाँ पे किसी को कोई क्वेश्चन तो नहीं है? ईशान, चमनप्रीत?
No, sir.
So it's a basic. Actually, we just revising the last semester things. Okay. Okay. So now all of you know you can write the impulse. Impulse is a simply summation of the delta function, the time shifted delta function, and if you write that delta function, so this pulse, the st, so st you can write like this, the summation of these delta functions which are shifted with time. So st is minus n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity delta e minus n ts. So this is the time domain, actually the time domain of the delta function or time domain of the impulse train. So if you take the Fourier transform, so all of you know the Fourier transform of the delta. Delta is, if you take the Fourier transform of delta, but the Fourier transform of delta is nothing but it is the same, but that delta is the, now the delta becomes the function of the frequency instead of the time. if you take the Fourier transform. So this is the same thing here. This expression is the function of time. This expression is function of frequency. And if you take the Fourier transform, you will have the Fs minus n equal minus infinity to plus infinity delta F minus n minus Fs. So if you plot this again, this will give you the same similar kind of so if you plot this the SF, so now you see this is Fs is nothing but it is minus infinite to infinite delta F minus n Ts. So this is the signal after taking Fourier transform. So you can, sorry, no, this is, so this is your Fs. So when you, if you plot, this will give you the similar kind of response. So now, so you can see this is your time domain delta function. When you take the Fourier transform of this function, that will give you SF. So if you plot this, this is again the same, but now this is your SF, the frequency of, and this is your Fs. This is 2i's of Fs, and this is minus Fs, and this is twice of Fs. So you can see the Fourier transform of any delta function is the same as the delta function. So the difference is that now the sample is coming at the frequencies, not at the time period. So you can see here the sample is repeating after Fs. Here the sample is repeating after Ts. So this is the difference. Okay. So now this is the expression. Now you know how we can plot this. So in frequency response. Now this is the simplest way to understand the sampling. So now you see. So we just doing the multiplication of the analog continuous signal and the impulse train. We have the sampled version of the signal. So this is we can say this is your sampling, the sampling process. Now next is we have sampling theorem. So what the sampling theorem is saying? So when you have the sample signal and you want to repeat, suppose so this is your sample signal. Which we call M delta T. And we want to recover this signal. So to recover that signal, so if you recover from the sample, so you will have the signal like this. This is. So the sampling theorem is basically generally to recover the original signal. So what are the conditions to recover the original signal without any distortion? So that will tell you the sampling theorem. So in order to recover the original band limited message signal from its sample version, the sampling frequency must always be greater than the highest modulating frequency component. This is Fs should be much greater than or equal to twice of Fn, and you can find the sampling rate. So this condition is known as the Nyquist rate. So nequest state you can find simply by taking this reverse reciprocal of this or reverse of this. Ts is equal to 1 upon fs. So that will give you the nequest state. So you can easily recover the signal by if you have if this condition match the sampling period or sampling period which is much greater than or greater than equal to the modulating or the message signal, the highest frequency of the message signals, so you can recover easily. So this is the condition, and this condition is known as the Nyquist state, and this is for the sampling theorem. So again, I already actually this I already shown this told this. This is the carrier, and if you take the Fourier transform, that the same similar kind of the impulses you have, but in case of the with time domain, the pulses repeating after ts interval, while in case of frequency domain, the pulse is coming after fs uh, uh, frequency fs duration fs repeating. The pulse chain is repeating after fs. So you can see this is again the same thing. I'm just writing again so that you will understand or you will memorize this. Again, this is the same thing. Now come to this. This figure is an interesting figure. So see. So so you just saw. So this is okay. So this is your the Fourier transform of ST. Okay. So when you have the message signal, so all of you know the message signal is a band limited, and this is the message signal, and this is your FM. This is your message signal, and this message signal is okay. So this message signal is of the Fourier transform of this signal. So this is your MT, and this is your T. So this is the Fourier transform. So see, this message signal is has the bandwidth which we call, because this is your low pass. So this is your FM. So this is, so now what happen when you pass, when you multiply this signal with the impulse, so you have the signal of like this, and the other signal is like this. So wherever the impulse is, so see, so the impulse is here, one impulse is here, one impulse is coming here, and another impulse is coming here. So this message signal actually is coming at these impulses. So the first impulse is at 0. So this is your the message signal, and this message signal for your this for this impulse. So similar, you have the message signal for this. The same message signal actually equally spaced at the your impulses, wherever the impulses. So you can see the same here, and This is the period, and this period is fs. So when we want to recover this signal, so you can see this is your fm is here, fm is here, and we want to recover this signal according to the sampling theorem. So that should be the fs should be greater than this twice of fm. Otherwise, what will happen? So this the frequency response or the Fourier transform of this message signal will overlap. Otherwise, what will happen? So this is the ideal condition. This is the impulse, and another impulse is repeating at fs. And this is minus fm. This is plus fm. This is plus fm. This is minus fm. And this is your m delta t, and not m delta t is actually this is mf and sf. So this is convolution. So this is the signal you have, and this is minus fs. So see what will happen if this condition is not fulfilled. So this is fs is greater than equal to twice of fm. So you can see so these two, the message signal, which is the frequency is same. In fact, if you see the bandwidth of this also, so this is, you can write this is your fs plus fm, and this is your, this point is fs minus fm. And if you find the bandwidth of these two, so that will give you the twice of f. So what happened? So this will have, if this condition will not fulfill, so these two signal will overlap and the same signal. So that will give you the aliasing phenomena, aliasing effect, and your signal will distort, and you will see the signal when you obtain at the output, the signal is now like this. So this portion will go on. So that will create actually a noise or distortion, and this phenomena is known as the aliasing phenomena. So we generally avoid this aliasing effect by taking this fs is greater than the twice of fm. So again, I'm just this is actually the properly drawn the figure. So you can see, so these are the impulses. The impulses is here. Here is this. This is minus fs1 impulse. This is fs impulse, and this is the signal, message signal, which is occupied minus fm to the plus fm. And if you see, so here is it's a like, because we are just we use we use the this portion, the small portion. So this is your fm, and this is some this is, you say this is fm, and this is your the response of low pass filter. So similar pattern will repeat here. You see this is minus fm. So we use this. So to recover, actually to recover the original signal, when you have the sample signal and you want to recover the signal there, so you just place the low pass filter, and the low pass filter will recover the signal, and the low pass filter has the cutoff frequency fm, and that fm should be matched. Otherwise the signal will if the low pass filter is less than this fm, so your signal will not exactly at the output. So to recover the original signal, there are two conditions. One is the fs should be much greater than the twice of fm, and another, the low pass filter has the cutoff frequency. Why, the question is, why we are using low pass filter? Anyone? Aditya, Sai, Kamal, can you please help me to understand why we use low pass filter here? Aditya,
Yes, sir.
can you please tell me why the low pass filter is using?
So because we are using frequency, sir.
Sorry, can you repeat again? I just lost your voice.
What's the?
I'm not actually get your voice. The question is why we use low pass filter here. Arvind, can you please tell me?
So we need the response up to FM, na, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, the so if you, because the message signal has some frequency, and the message signal has the frequency, highest frequency is FM. Okay, and other than that high frequency, which are the higher frequency, so we are not interested in higher frequency, because all those higher frequency are the harmonics, and that all those frequency will create some noise and distortions. So there is no need for that is why we need the low pass filter, which will suppress the high frequency component. Okay, Arvind, are you here? Are you अभी हो यहाँ पे या फिर चले गए उठ के? Arvind, okay. Maharishi.
Yes.
अच्छा, ओके महर्षि, ये समझ में आया जो हम लोगों ने अभी डिस्कस किया, व्हाई वी आर डूइंग सैम्पलिंग एंड व्हाट इज द सैम्पलिंग थ्योरम? इट्स जस्ट रिपीटेशन ऑफ द लास्ट सेमेस्टर.
यस सर, मेजरली लास्ट सेमेस्टर का पोर्शन रिपीट हो रहा है, मतलब टाइम को फ्रीक्वेंसी के टर्म्स में ग्राफ के हिसाब से मैनिपुलेशन.
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly. It's just repetition and just actually a revision of the last semester. So now, you can see that is why we need the low pass filter just to suppress the high frequency component and to recover the signal perfectly or correctly. So that is why we use the low pass filter. In fact, you can see the practically all of you know. This is ideally low pass filter. The red one is showing the red ideally low pass filter response theoretically, but this actually jump is not possible in practical. So you have the smooth transition. So the practically we use this kind of the filter. So that will actually give your empty signal at when you reconstruct. So I will explain you in detail when we use the low pass filter in the next slides. Okay, now the important question is why the sampling frequency fs is greater than or equal to twice of fm. So isko basically to understand this we use three examples. So the first example is we assume the sampling frequency is greater than the twice of fm. So this is the low pass filter. Okay, and if you have the this sampling frequency is greater than twice of fm, you can see this is fs, this fs. So this fs is greater than the twice fm. So you can actually both the message, this one and this one has this actually wide gap and there is no overlapping, so you can easily recover. So okay, so in this case we don't have any distortion because we have sufficient gap between two pulse, so there is no overlapping, so we can easily recover. So this is the best condition. And the second condition is when the fs is equal to twice of fm. So in case if you see, so this if you use this condition in practically in the communication system, what will happen? So there are a lot of noises in the system, the communication system. So if you use this condition, so there will be some overlapping, but this response is for the ideal response or ideal case or theoretical case, but not practical. But when you go for the practical for fs is equal to twice of m, so you will find some overlapping. So that will also distort the signal. So generally for the practical case, the condition fs is greater than twice of mm is used, and these are the only for to understand the theoretically what will happen if the fs is equal to twice of m, fs is greater than the twice of fm. So you can see if the fs is equal to twice of m, the two samples comes closely and there is no as such no overlapping. But this is ideal case, but in practical case there might be some actually overlapping. So this can also be used, but theoretically, not the practically. The practical situation is the above one is preferred. Now the next case is the fs, the sampling frequency, which is less than the twice of fm. What will happen? So you can see here in figure this one. So this is the figure which is showing the overlapping. So what will happen? The two pulses overlapping each other. So you can see these two actually showing the overlapping, and this overlapping is creating noise or creating distortion in the signal. So you will see the signal is now this kind of signal. This is not going to the down. This is for bending from the above and going like this. Okay, so this effect when the two pulses overlap, because of this condition fs is less than twice of m, this is known as aliasing effect. So the aliasing effect is actually when we do the communication, so that effect that aliasing should not be there, otherwise the signal will lost and create some noisy at the output. So you can see the aliased spectrum. So now because of the aliasing, the signal is going like this and bending from the above. Okay, and to remove this aliasing effect, we use the low pass filter or aliasing filter, or that filter is known as anti-aliased low pass filter. So this is used to actually what this anti-aliased low pass filter will do, that will add some extra frequency or some extra bandwidth to the impulse, and because of that the fs becomes greater than the twice of fm, and you will have the actually desired output at the system, communication system. So you can see here, so this is the filter response, and what we do, so this is actually this is your fs here. So we just add subtract here fs minus w. So and this is fs minus fs plus w. So now the filter is the filter has this bandwidth, the fs minus w. So what is effect of this? So after subtracting this w from this, so it will create the gap. So you can see the gap between two pulses here. So now there is no overlapping. So if there is overlapping, so you can remove this overlapping by just shifting or by just subtracting w, and you will and this minus w can be easily done with the help of the low pass filter. So the low pass filter is designed in such a way the cutoff frequency is slightly lower than that of the message signal, so that will remove the aliasing phenomena or aliasing effect. So you can see this is sample version after using anti-aliased low pass filter. So there is no aliasing, there is no overlapping of the pulse. So this is one use of this. And
फिल्टर वाला एक बार फिर से बताना.
हाँ, फिल्टर वाला मैं बताता हूँ, एक मिनट. दक्ष ये देखिए सी. So this is actually you just see this figure. So what we do, actually w is nothing but w is your fm. So we send the cutoff of the low pass filter is slightly higher than this w. Earlier the cutoff of the filter is fm. I just draw that figure so that you can see. Okay. So see, this is your FM, or we say this is W. So now we place, instead of this low pass filter, so we add, okay, we have another low pass filter which have this response. So we say this cutoff is now shifted slightly Fs minus W. So by increasing this slightly frequency, so what exactly is happening here? So you will see, so you have this signal and you have this signal. So what is actually what happening to this? So if you increase this, so that will the signal will shift slightly this. So now the signal will, this is the first signal, and this will, because of this low pass cutoff frequency, because this cutoff frequency becomes slightly high, so that will add and you will get this signal. So this is creating the spacing between two samples. So that is why we say this signal is anti-aliased low pass filter or reconstruction filter. Okay, Dax?
सर मैं ये वाला पूछ रहा था, मतलब ये तो मुझे समझ आ गया था अपने का, बट सर ये फिल्टर के हेल्प से हम सिग्नल को डिले कैसे कर देते हैं नेक्स्ट वाले को, अगर वो ओवरलैप कर रहे हैं तो
डिले नहीं करते, वी जस्ट एक्चुअली क्या है कि सिग्नल का तो जो आपका कट ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसी था उसका थोड़ा कट ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसी बढ़ा देते हैं. सो व्हाट विल हैपन, द कट ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसी ऊपर की तो सही है, तो बट द ट्रांजिशन यू सी, आई एम जस्ट मेकिंग दिस फिगर. सो इफ यू सी देयर इज दिस एक्चुअली, so see there is this very okay, 1 second. So there is a small difference in the cutoff here, but if you see this slope, so this slope create the gap, so this transition slope. Okay, so filter को उस हिसाब से डिजाइन किया जाता है, that will create this gap.
सर बट अगर फिर भी ओवरलैप कर रहे हो तो
फिर फिल्टर को दोबारा से फिर रीडिजाइन किया जाता है. डेफिनेटली हाँ, अगर
ओवरलैप करे तो डिस्टॉर्शन होगी ना, चाहे फिल्टर को कैसे डिजाइन करें.
नहीं ना, देखो देयर आर टू कंडीशन. मान लो कि आपने फर्स्ट कंडीशन लगाया, इफ यू यूज द फर्स्ट कंडीशन, द एफएस शुड बी ग्रेटर देन द ट्वाइस ऑफ एम. ठीक है, अगर ये कंडीशन होने के बावजूद भी ओवरलैप कर रहा है, समहाउ ओवरलैपिंग आ गई, बिकॉज ऑफ वी डोंट नो द एग्जैक्ट सिनेरियो. कभी टेम्परेचर हाई भी हो सकता है, लो भी हो सकता है इन उसमें सराउंडिंग का, तो उससे भी आपका एक्स्ट्रा करंट और चीजें जनरेट हो जाती है, दैट विल क्रिएट नॉइज एंड द पल्स विल ब्रॉडन. तो उसमें क्या होता है कि हम लोगों को फिर उसको जो फिल्टर को फिर प्लेस करना होता है. तो एक तो कंडीशन है कि यू जस्ट प्लेस एफएस इज ग्रेटर देन ट्वाइस एफएम, यू विल नॉट गेट द अलाइजिंग फेनोमेना. बट अगेन इफ यू आर गिविंग दिस कंडीशन with this condition you also getting the aliasing, so then you will place the filter which will slightly broaden, slightly actually create the width or gap between the two pulse. Okay, तो ये करते हैं, ये इसको इसलिए प्लेस किया जाता है. ठीक है, दैट्स आई थिंक you understand now.
सर मेरा डाउट कुछ और था सर, थोड़ा ऊपर करना एक बार इसी पीडीएफ में.
हाँ,
तो जहाँ ओवरलैप कर रहा था हमने नाइक्विस्ट.
अच्छा, ओके, हाँ.
सर इस केस के अंदर अगर हम फिल्टर यूज करें तो सर ये जो ओवरलैप कर रहा है ये कैसे बचता है, मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा. मुझे लग रहा है फिर भी ओवरलैप करेगा. नहीं,
actually you are just looking here, actually you are just seeing here, this is this. So what is happening here, this filter is passing this path, so the same this pulse, when this pulse comes, that will actually shifted that with that actually that frequency, that the cutoff frequency of the filter.
सर पल्स की कट ऑफ
हाँ
सर, इससे जो अपना मेन इंफॉर्मेशन मैसेज है वो चेंज नहीं होगा क्या सर?
नहीं,
अगर अपन फिल्टर यूज करते हैं.
हाँ, फिल्टर तो एक्चुअली फिल्टर दो तरह से यूज किया जाता है. यू कैन गिव इट सम डिले और जस्ट फिक्स द फ्रीक्वेंसी. तो इंफॉर्मेशन तो आपका रहेगा, बट जो ओवरलैपिंग पोर्शन है उसको वो डिले कर देगा, उसको स्लाइटली शिफ्ट कर देगा, गैप क्रिएट कर देगा।
बट सर जब डिले करेगा तो सर वो कहीं ना कहीं सर एक्चुअल में वो फिट तो बैठ नहीं रहा था, तो सर कैसे होगा समझ नहीं आ रहा वो चीज की। या तो उसको मैसेज सिग्नल को थोड़ा मतलब कंस्ट्रक्ट करना पड़ेगा कि कंस्ट्रेन कर दे कि थोड़ा पतला।
देखो सुनो नवरत्न, मैसेज सिग्नल का बैंडविड्थ आपका फिक्स है FM, सो यू कैन नॉट चेंज द मैसेज। सो मैसेज सिग्नल, आपका एक मैसेज सिग्नल FS के बाद रिपीट हो रहा है, दैट इज कमिंग नियर। So what will you do? So you just make a filter which has the response FS minus W, so that the pulse which is coming again, so that will come after that FS minus W. तो वो हम लोग यहाँ पे वो यहाँ पे जो फिल्टर है ना वो ये काम कर रहा है।
सर हम कह सकते हैं कि हम नाइक्विस्ट रेट को मतलब इग्नोर कर सकते हैं अगर फिल्टर काम कर रहा है तो।
सॉरी अभी थोड़ा मुझे दोबारा बोलना।
सर कैसा कर सकते हैं कि नाइक्विस्ट रेट को टू सम एक्सटेंट इग्नोर कर दिया, पूरा तो नहीं कर सकते पर टू सम एक्सटेंट इग्नोर कर दिया।
हाँ, सम एक्सटेंट ही करेंगे। वो एक्चुअली क्या है कि दिस इज द मेन कंडीशन व्हेन यू वांट टू रिकवर द ओरिजिनल सिग्नल, द FS शुड बी ग्रेटर देन ट्वाइस एमएम। अगर ये कंडीशन फुलफिल नहीं हो रही और आपका FS इज लेस देन ट्वाइस ऑफ एमएम, पूरा ओवरलैपिंग हो रहा है, तो दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल। तो उसका भी एक सर्टेन लिमिटेशन है कि वो ये तो फिर आपके फिर नेक्वेस्ट रेट की जरूरत ही क्या है।
हाँ, तो सर थोड़ा सा कर सकते हैं।
थोड़ा सा जो टेम्परेचर इफेक्ट हो गया, ये अदर इफेक्ट हो गए सर्किटरी में, सो दैट विल क्रिएट एक्स्ट्रा करंट्स एंड दैट करंट विल एक्चुअली इंटरफेयर द ओरिजिनल सिग्नल एंड दैट विल क्रिएट सम ओवरलैपिंग। सो टू जस्ट अवॉइड दैट फेनोमेना, दैट करंट और एक्स्ट्रा इंटरफेरेंस, तो वो फिल्टर फिर यूज किया जाता है सो दैट द कंडीशन ऑफ नेक्वेस्ट क्राइटेरिया फुलफिल एंड नॉट डिस्टर्ब। तो वो इसलिए रखा जाता है। ठीक है,
हाँ
ठीक है, ओके। एनीवन, एनी अदर? कोई नहीं पूछता। अरविंद का माइक खराब है।
नहीं सर, चालू हो गया सर, मेरा हेडफोन दूसरा चेंज कर लिया मैंने।
अच्छा अरविंद, समझ में आया। दिस इज द बेसिक, एक्चुअली वी जस्ट डिस्कस द बेसिक। ओके,
हाँ सर, आ गया सर, आ गया।
अच्छा, ये तो बेसिक था, ये मैं जस्ट खत्म करना चाह रहा था। ओके, सो टू अवॉइड ये हमने डिस्कस कर लिया। ओके, नाउ इसमें एक चीज और है, ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है, मैंने पहले अभी भी बताया था। So this is what we discuss now. All these things are the ideal sampling, and all of you know ideal sampling or instantaneous sampling, because in all these cases we use the impulse train. But when you go for practical, so in practical situation, all of you know don't have the impulse train. So you have a pulse train, and the pulse train has some width, the pulse width. And the pulse width, when you go for the pulse width or when the sampling with the pulse width, so that sampling is generally, it's not instantaneous, but that sampling is two type of sampling, all of you know. So that is your natural sampling or the flat top sampling. Natural sampling means the amplitude of the actually message signal follow the sampled, whatever the amplitude of the message signal, the same signal, the same amplitude follow the the carrier or the pulse train. So that is your natural sampling. And when we say the flat top, in case of flat top, so the pulse which is coming after the sampling is not following any the message signals. So the pulse, the top always is the flat. So that is so generally the practical sampling, we use the natural sampling or flat top sampling. As I already told you, the natural sampling has the same amplitude, the amplitude top is same as the pulse, as the message amplitude. And in case of flat top, the amplitude of the pulse is flat, and it is not following the amplitude of the message signal. So I just show you so that you can appreciate. Otherwise, it is. So see, again, we just understand and try to understand. This is MT is the message signal or baseband signal. Okay. And we compare just both side by side. This is the left side is natural sampling and the right side is the flat top sampling. So if you see, the carrier is now your sampling is the pulse train, and the pulse train has this pulse width is the tau, and the sampling period is TS. Similar, the same tau is the pulse width in case of the flat top. So the only difference is here, if you see here, so you can see the top of the pulse is following the same whatever the amplitude of the message signal. So this is known as the natural sampling. While in case of the flat top, so you can see there is a gap, and you have the top is flat of all these pulses, and this is known as the flat top sampling. So why, if you see, the natural sampling is more useful as compared to the flat top, because in case of this, it is not exactly following the message signal. So there is some error. So this triangle is error, this is the error, but in case of there is the error is low. So we will discuss in detail this when we discuss the error. So this is the difference between natural sampling and the flat top sampling. यहाँ तक किसी को कोई क्वेश्चन है तो प्लीज आस्क. Anybody have question? And अरविंद कोई क्वेश्चन है? ऋषि राज, महर्षि?
नहीं सर.
अच्छा, एनीवन? मनाली?
नो सर.
अच्छा, और ये प्रेमलता? अमन?
नो सर.
अनिल? अनिल भुकैया? धीरेन्द्र?
नो सर.
अच्छा सुनो, देखो आप लोगों को मैं क्लियरली कह देता हूँ, जहां पे भी कोई डाउट हो प्लीज आस्क. यहाँ पे पूछो या बाद में पूछो, क्योंकि कभी कभी जो हम लोग कम्युनिकेट करना चाहते हैं, अभी हमें इसकी आदत नहीं ऑनलाइन की, तो थोड़ा सा दिक्कत होता है कि जो हम चाहते हैं वो नहीं पहुंच पाता मैसेज एग्जैक्टली. सो प्लीज आस्क व्हेनेवर यू फील कि आपको ये नहीं समझ में आ रहा यार, जो जहाँ पे भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा, तो डोंट हेजिटेट. जहाँ पे भी हो लगे आपको, जैसे दक्ष ने पूछा,
हम लोग बाद में क्लास रिवाइज करें तो फिर हम लोग उसका डाउट व्हाट्सएप पे पूछ सकते हैं ना.
या डेफिनेटली. इनफैक्ट इंसान, ऑल ऑफ यू आर फ्री टू कॉल मी. तो अगर आप नहीं व्हाट्सएप पर डालोगे, मैं तो हमेशा कॉल करके ही जवाब देता हूँ. मुझसे व्हाट्सएप पे ज्यादा लिखा नहीं जाता, मैं ज्यादा एक्चुअली टेक्नो फ्रेंडली नहीं हूँ, तो व्हाट्सएप पे मैं बहुत ही कम होता है. बट व्हेनेवर यू जस्ट राइट समथिंग, तो आई जस्ट कॉल बैक यू. लास्ट सेमेस्टर भी मैंने ऐसे ही किया था कि जिस बच्चे ने भी लिखा मुझे, मैंने जस्ट कॉल बैक हिम. ठीक है, तो आप प्लीज ये मत समझना कि ठीक है कुछ चीजें छूट जाती हैं, मुझसे भी छूट जाती हैं, बट बाकी कोशिश करता हूँ कि मैं पूरा करूं. बट समटाइम आई फॉरगेट सम मैनी थिंग्स. सो तो आप लोग पूछ सकते हो कि कहीं जहाँ पे भी हो. तो अगला टॉपिक है, दैट टॉपिक इज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक एक्चुअली. दिस अप टू दिस इज द रिविजन ऑफ द लास्ट क्लास. सो नेक्स्ट इज, एज आई ऑलरेडी मेंशन, आई जस्ट टेक द हेल्प ऑफ दिस व्हाइट बोर्ड. तो व्हाइट बोर्ड की भी आदत हो जाएगी अभी धीरे धीरे. So the next is very important topic, and all of you must read this. This is reconstruction. Okay. This is reconstruction formula. Or sometimes we say this is your interpolation formula. Okay, so reconstruction formula or interpolation formula, and we use this is for low pass signal. Okay, so we use for low pass signal here. Actually, you can actually you can reconstruct. No, I just want to tell you about the reconstruction formula. What is this reconstruction formula? Is nothing but is to reconstruct the original signal. To reconstruct original signal. Okay, कहाँ से reconstruct करना है? From the sampled signal. Okay, now my question is, all of you, please give me answer. So why we need this reconstruction formula? Why we need to reconstruct the original signal?
Sir, receiver side पे तो original signal ही चाहिए ना हमें. हाँ.
Good. So when we talk receiver, so after transmission at the receiver side, you need the exact replica of the message signal. Whatever the message signal you have, either voice signal or your speech signal, sorry, voice and video signal. So you want that signal exactly at the receiver side. Okay, like I am talking here, so this is your speech signal. So at the receiver side, that should be actually the voice signal. So that time we need the reconstruction formula. So in this formula, we will learn how we can reconstruct the original signal when you have the sample version of the signal. Okay, so now I take my help. Actually एक दो दिन और लगेगा इस पे familiar होने में, then उस पे फिर हम लोग लेंगे. But now I just share my screen so that we can do in easiest way. So this is the reconstruction formula or interpolation formula. We say this is reconstruction. And as I mentioned, the process of reconstructing a continuous time signal, MT is the message signal, from its sample is called a interpolation or reconstruction. Okay. So all of you understand the definition of reconstruction? Anybody, please reply.
Yes, sir.
So, okay. So our objective is we have the sample at the sample signal at the receiver, and from the sample signal we will have to recover the original signal, the baseband signal MT. So again we assume the MT is the baseband signal or message signal which has the frequency component FM. Okay. Now what we do? So as that's already asked this question, why we are using the low pass filter, how we can reconstruct. So you can understand here in detail. So with the help of, if you place the low pass filter, ideal low pass filter of cutoff frequency FM or slightly higher, so you can easily recover the original signal. So I will explain mathematically and both using the diagram, figure diagram. Okay. So see, the TS is, all of you know, the time interval, and reciprocal of this is your sampling period, sampling rate. This is all of you now familiar, very much familiar. So now again come to these figures. I am just repeating again so that you feel easy in the understanding when you start reading self. So see, this is MT is the message signal, and if you take the Fourier transform, that will give you the band limited signal, and the band limited is minus FM to the plus FM, and sometimes we say this is minus W to plus W. So I'm using here plus W and minus W also, remember. So that is why intentionally I'm mentioning here minus W and plus W. So this is nothing but this is the Fourier transform of this message signal. Okay, and all of you know when you do the sampling, so you have this sample version of the MT. So now our objective is from this sample version of the MT to recover this signal, message signal. So we will do some mathematics, how we can generate, how we can actually reconstruct the original signal. So that will I am going to explain you. Okay. So again, this is very simple. All of you know the sampling. the sampling rate is, all of you know, it's twice of FM. FS, we call FS is greater than the twice of FM. And all of you know that now here FM is here capital W. So you can write simply the twice of W. Okay. And Nyquist rate is just reciprocal of this. So this is 1/2W, or we say this is your TS. Okay. So this is the basic, all of you know this. Okay, now sampling theorem, according to the sampling theorem, MT can be completely recovered from the M delta T. M delta T is nothing but the sample signal, provided that the sampling period is less than the Nyquist period. This is TS is less than 1/2W, or FS is greater than the 2W. So this is the condition, and this condition is known as the sampling theorem. And this is sampling rate, and this is sampling period. So using this condition, so you can easily recover the original signal from the pulse, from the sample signal M delta T. So now we will see it. We will understand this with the help of block diagram. So see, this is your empty signal. Okay, so this is your message signal, and this is your impulse train, which is varying from minus infinite to plus infinite, delta T and minus TS. All of you know this, we already discussed. And after this multiplication, you have this signal. So this signal is nothing but this is your sample signal, sigma minus infinite to plus infinite, M and TS delta T minus NTS. So this is your the sample version of the signal. So now placing the reconstruction low pass filter. So this is the reconstruction low pass filter. You can reconstruct the original signal MT. So this is the basic actually theory, or basic of how you can recover the original signal from the sample version. So by placing the reconstruction low pass filter, we just recover. So using this block diagram, you can understand easily. So this block diagram is telling the whole story, starting from the conversion from the message signal to the sample signal, and then conversion to the sample signal to the message signal. So with the help of reconstruction low pass filter, we can easily obtain the message signal MT. Okay, and again we use the instantaneous sampling. So instantaneous sampling means we are using the impulse train instead of pulse train. We are using impulse train. So in case of impulse train, the width of the pulse is 0. We have just impulses. Okay, and so all of you know this. So you can obtain the sample signal M delta T. M delta T, actually M delta T is nothing but it is the multiplication of the original signal MT, message signal, and the impulse train. This is your impulse train. Okay, MT is the message signal, and delta T minus NTS is the impulse train. So using the multiplication of both, you can generate the sample signal. So now the sample signal is M delta T. M delta T is from minus infinite to this. This is a simply multiplication of these two. Just interchange this. So you have this. This is equation 1, and this equation 1 is the sample version of the message signal. But this sample version of the message signal, remember, here is the T, the time domain. So this is your time domain sample version of the signal. So now we take the Fourier transform. We take the Fourier transform of this equation. So Fourier, if you take the Fourier transform of this equation, so now so MF, if you take the Fourier transform of the MF is the Fourier transform of MT. Okay, so MF, capital M or F, is the Fourier transform of MT, and SF, which is impulse train, SF is the Fourier transform of ST. which we can write this. So all of you know this. We already actually discussed this. So this is the Fourier transform of the ST. And now by doing the multiplication, so when you have two Fourier transform signal and you want to find the multiplication, you just take the convolution. So we just take the convolution of the message signal. Message signal is in Fourier transform, Fourier domain or frequency domain, and the impulse train in the Fourier domain. So by taking this, so we can find the sample signal. So you have the sample signal in two form. One is this is sample signal. This is the sample signal in time domain, and the equation 2 is equation 2 or in this. So you know this property. So when you do the convolution of delta function with any function, you will have the same function, remember. So this is the property. So this is the property of the convolution. When you do the convolution of any function with delta function, so you have the delta function. So you have the same function with the shifted the time, shifted frequency. So MF is your message signal. So now see, so this becomes MF minus NFS and rest of the thing. So this equation 2 is the sample version of the Fourier or the sample version of the actually message signal in frequency domain. So now you have two equations. One equation is time domain equation, sample version of the time domain equation, and another is a sample version of message signal in frequency domain. So now you have two equations. One is the time domain equation and this is the frequency domain equation. Okay, यहाँ तक किसी को कोई डाउट है या क्वेश्चन है तो प्लीज आस्क, प्लीज एनीबडी. ईशान, दक्ष, मनाली, हाँ प्लीज, ये थोड़ा मैथमेटिकल है. साई, सुधीर, यू कैन ऑल्सो आस्क. मैं कुछ नाम बोलता है इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि सबके नाम मैं छोड़ रहा हूँ, तो सबके नाम तो बोलना पॉसिबल नहीं है, बट प्लीज आस्क यहाँ तक. सो ये बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है इस वाले में. ठीक है, गुड. तो ये आपका दो तरह का सिग्नल हमने दिखाया. वी हैव टू टाइम डोमेन एंड फ्रीक्वेंसी डोमेन. देन आगे आते हैं इसके बाद. सो नाउ इफ यू प्लॉट इक्वेशन 2, ये भी हम देख चुके हैं इन द लास्ट, जो अभी हमने इससे पहले डिस्कस किया था. इफ यू प्लॉट द सेम थिंग, so you have the signal like this fs. So earlier there is a like this bending signal or curved signal, but I'm just for the simplicity I'm just using the triangular, so that there is no difference. Either you can take that one also, so both signal are same. So this is again the simple low pass filter signal which is spaced at fs. So now you can see this is the pulse, and this is your the message sample signal with frequency. So now this will looks like this in frequency domain. Okay, you already seen the time domain, but this is in your frequency domain. It's very simple. You can plot easily. So now you have two equation. One is equation the time domain equation, another is the frequency domain. So another one equation we can the equation which is again the Fourier transform of delta t, that we can also generate. If you see, come to here again, so you have this equation. So there are two options to find the sample message signal, either doing the independent Fourier transform of message signal and delta signal and take the convolution. So that will give you the sample message signal in frequency domain. Another way is directly take the Fourier transform of equation 1. So if you take the directly Fourier transform of equation 1, so that will also gives you the frequency domain of the message signal. So same thing we will do here. So see, so another useful expression for the Fourier transform of ideal sample signal m delta t. So m delta t kahan pe? Yeah, this is in your first equation. So we will take the Fourier transform of equation 1, both sides. So what will you see? So see, Fourier transform of delta t n minus t. You can represent this. You can see any book. All of you have so many books of the mathematics, or in fact digital signal processing book, or in fact network analysis book. So you can easily see if you take the Fourier transform of delta with shifted and ts. So you can represent this within exponential like this, exponential j 2 pi n fs. So see, here is the frequency term. So this delta, which is time shifted, you can write this in terms of exponential in Fourier transform. This is another way. So this is, I'm not going to detail how we can change this delta function into the exponential Fourier transform. So you can easily find in any book. So use that expression. Okay. So what is happening here? If you see, so now the equation 1 becomes m delta f, and this is the same summation. The message signal is, there is no change in the message signal, and we just replace this delta function with exponential function. So we just replace the delta function here, exponential minus j 2 pi n f ts. So this is your equation 3rd. Now this equation, all of you read, this is in your signal system. And in fact, definitely you will also read in your digital signal processing in also. So this kind of signal.
कैसे एक बारी बताना, मेरा इंटरनेट चला गया.
हाँ देखो सुनो दक्ष, ये डेल्टा फंक्शन है आपका. सो डेल्टा फंक्शन का फोरियर ट्रांसफॉर्म आप एक्सपोनेंशियल में भी आता है. So you can just see any books, उसमें दिया हुआ explanation. I am not going to explain. याद है ना? So we just substitute this value because there are we just substitute that value in this equation 1. So you have this. This is message signal is as it is. We just replace this delta function with the exponential. So now this equation 3rd. So this equation 3rd, you see. So there is a variation with respect to n. N is varying from minus infinite to plus infinite. So if you plot this function, this will give you the discrete Fourier transform. Earlier we were discussing the continuous Fourier transform. So because n is changing here from here to in both the expression, so this term is discrete Fourier transform. Okay. So the same expression. Now again, if you plot this, that will also give you the sample version of the signal. So we just discuss the two way. One is doing the multiplication in time domain, that will give you the time domain sample version. When you take the Fourier transform independent message and delta impulse train and take the convolution, that will also give you the your message sample signal. Another way is the product of message and your delta function. If you take the directly Fourier transform, so that will also give you the message signal in sample form. So this is another form, or you can say another way of writing the message signal in sample form. So this is your discrete Fourier transform. Okay. Now see, I will upload these notes on the Google Classroom. So see. So the message signal, the Fourier transform of message signal MF of signal MT has the property, the MF is 0 is greater than this. So this is the property of the low pass filter, all of you know. So if you see, so this signal after this W is 0. This will has the amplitude, or this has the some whatever the amplitude of this signal, so only up to the W. So this is the condition. If the frequency is greater than W, the MF is 0. Okay, remember this, we will use this condition. Okay. So if you plot that the same signal, so we need this signal, this. We just interested in this pulse. We just want to remove all these pulses. So what we do?
Low pass filter use करेंगे.
Yeah, we are just using that low pass filter. So now if you see in the earlier equation which has the TS, now replace this TS with 1/2. This is Nyquist, actually Nyquist rate or Nyquist period. So 1 upon, earlier it was 2 FM. Now, as when I start this slide, just mention Fm is replaced with W, so this Ts becomes 1 upon 2W. So the M becomes, now M is N. Earlier it was NTS. So now it becomes N upon 2W, and just we replace this, just place the value of TS 1 upon 2W in the both expression. You have this, the same expression. Now see, so you can split this into, we just write this for one, N equal to 0. So if you write N equal to 0, oh, no, this is not, again come to this equation, sorry. Yeah, this equation. So equation 2, if you write N equal 0, so what you have, Fs or M F plus Fs sigma minus infinite to plus infinite, and M F minus NFS, and N equal not equal to 0. This is expression, this will expression you will have. So if we use the same, so see, so I am using the same equation 2. So N equal 0, you have this term, first term, or not equal to 0, N not equal to 0, you have this expression, the same expression. You can write the same. So what you do now, using the following two condition. So GF, sorry, this is not GF, this is your MF. So MF is 0 for F greater than W. So MF is greater for the higher than the W frequency. So this is the higher frequency component. See, if you see, these are the higher frequency component. So from equation 5, you have only this MS M delta F is equal to Fs MF. ओके, यहां तक सभी को समझ में आ रहा है ये वाला इक्वेशन? दक्ष
सर ज्यादा तेज हो गया, थोड़ा सा रिपीट कर दो।
ओके, एक्चुअली फिर टाइम निकल रहा, मैं थोड़ा सा एक स्लाइड रह रही फिर कंस्ट्रक्शन का मैं। ओके, सो आप यहां से समझिए, आई जस्ट कम टू द इक्वेशन 2। So see, this is the equation. I am using this equation. आप इस इक्वेशन को देखिए, n equal 0, हम इसको स्प्लिट कर रहे हैं, n equal to 0 you have Fs MF, और रेस्ट ऑफ द थिंग आपकी इक्वेशन वही रहेगी, Fs MF minus NS प्लस में, बट वहां पे कंडीशन आ जाएगी n not equal to 0. So I am using that condition. So आओ यहाँ पे आ जाते हैं. So see, this is the same equation. I'm using the equation 2. So n equal to 0 you have this term, or rest of the terms you have. So n equal to 0 means you have the